All right, enough of that. I'm just excited about actually not being the scrawniest person alive for like the first time in my life, even though I'm like the third scrawniest person alive now. So I want to talk a little bit about body image and weight at the, you know, elite level for running that I'm at, and all levels of running, and just my experience / a bit of my body transformation. I'm gonna work out with Miler, 7 by mile with 1 minute jog in between. We're gonna keep it at LT2, so hopefully around 5:30 pace. Maybe we'll go a little faster on some, maybe a little slower on some. I just had my ketone shot. You guys know that we are sponsored by Ketone. They are phenomenal. HVMN is the name of the company. They create exogenous ketones, which essentially is dual fueling, meaning you can have carbs, you can have ketones at the same time, and it's sick. I feel good after I have it every time. Sometimes I go into workouts, like, you know, I eat a couple hours out, but I kind of have this like, you know, unsettled feeling in my stomach. And whenever I have my ketone shot before I work out, it feels so good. I'm gonna have another one after I work out. If you're interested in ketones or any product of HVMN, it'll be linked down below.
Oh yeah, there they go. Hooray!
So personally, in my experience, I've never had an issue with being able to eat enough, and I have never had what you would call like an eating disorder. But at the same time, I've always been conscious about making sure that I am a certain weight / just size. And you can kind of tell. You know, when I was in high school, I was very skinny, and I never did any lifting stuff until maybe my senior year a little bit. But I just naturally am a very skinny guy, and that's just me. But you know, some people might not be that naturally skinny, and it's totally okay. You can still run fast. So then the same thing in college, we lifted a lot, but I stayed pretty lean. And for me, I always wanted to stay around like 132. That was what I'd call my race weight. In general, looking back on all of that, and even having just like a race weight, I think is a negative thing to have, because you put all this expectation on trying to be a certain size when I don't think it necessarily matters your exact weight, especially for like an 800, 1500 type runner like myself. So I always wanted to be around 132 pounds, and I've kind of just had that expectation on myself for so long. But over the years, as I've gotten older, like as I've maintained that idea that I need to be 132 pounds, it's just, it doesn't feel good anymore to be that weight, I guess you could say. I think what a lot of people do on the elite level is like, they like to have good weight throughout the year, and then at the very end of the seasons, they do cut down a little bit. And like, that's not to say that they have eating disorders on the elite level, but people definitely do cut down weight towards the end of the year. So you see people at like the Olympic trials or US championships, and they're super lean. They're at like their peak form. Having a race weight isn't always a bad thing, but at the same time, like if you're the type of person that's neurotic and is always thinking about it all the time, I don't think it is a good thing. Luckily, I have not really struggled with an eating disorder myself, but there definitely have been times that I have underfueled. As you guys know from that food video I posted, you guys were all appalled by how bad my diet is, but I'm trying to just show you that you have to eat a lot of food to try to maintain your weight even, because if I don't eat like 3 to 3.5 thousand calories a day, I probably will start to lose weight. I weigh about 140 pounds right now, and I like to eat about 140 grams of protein every day and just keep that really consistent. And especially now that I'm lifting and getting huge, I definitely need to eat more food. And you know, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder out here, but you're gonna look better if you're a string bean with a little bit of toned muscle versus a string bean with no muscle at all. You know, after running competitively for like 10 years now, I finally feel confident enough in myself to actually go back to the gym. I was lifting when I was with the Brooks Beast, and after my time with the Brooks Beast, I completely stopped lifting for 18 months because I felt like it didn't really help my running, which was such a stupid thought because it actually was helping me when I was with Brooks. But you know, even as early as last February, I was so skinny and I felt really fit for a while, but then towards the outdoor season, my fitness started to go away and I just felt worse and worse. I honestly feel like my hormones were a little bit messed up by the end of last season because I just didn't eat enough food. And I think not eating enough food can lead to short-term success, but then long-term injuries and illnesses and sicknesses and stuff. It is a dangerous thing. So don't undereat. It's not smart to do. This year, 2023, my goal was to start lifting twice a week again and get on a really good lifting regimen. And I've been very successful so far. It's the end of March right now. So I've been lifting for 3 months and I feel so much better. You know, we were lifting super light at first and we still aren't lifting like crazy heavy, but we're up to being able to squat pretty good at this point. We just tried to bench 135, which is a plate. Couldn't quite do it yet, but I couldn't bench 100 pounds when I was first starting out lifting again. So I feel like the gains are so fun, and I feel way more toned. I feel more confident in my body, and I feel fast. So today I just ran some 150s really quick. I ran my last 150 at 24-second 200 pace. So the speed's coming along again. I feel really fast again. And I just attribute it all to going to the weight room and embracing trying to put on muscle and put on weight. I think that people, when they are thinking about trying to get better at running, they think about trying to lose weight, trying to get as skinny as possible. But I'm here to say that I think that it is also really important to try to build muscle. It makes sense to do, and I think it's going to keep me healthy so much more long term. A lot of my lower leg issues are starting to finally go away. And I guess I'm just kind of spewing to you guys today because I really want you guys to see where I went wrong almost, where I stopped lifting for a while and now I am lifting. But yeah, I also want to talk a little bit about just high level athletes and their eating habits from what I've seen on the inside and from kind of just a runner's perspective. I feel like runners a lot of the time, are trying to eat the most healthy possible things all the time. And I think it burns a lot of people out when they're eating like salads all the time and like things that are super healthy, but not necessarily super calorically dense. So I do think that it's very personalized for how you're going to schedule out the food you eat. And if you're the type of person that can be okay just eating junk food and you're not going to put a lot of weight on and you're still eating healthy stuff and having good micronutrients, then it's fine to eat a little bit worse. But if you're someone that you feel like you put on a lot of weight by having shitty food like cheeseburgers and pizza, then maybe you go to Chipotle or something, because Chipotle is still eating out. It's not crazy bad for you.
Last rep on the track.
Another thing I've noticed with me putting on a little bit of muscle is just I feel a lot faster. I feel like I'm starting to be more tight with my form. I feel like my form was getting kind of bad, and I almost used to overstride, and now it's feeling a lot more natural like it was in college when we lifted a lot. So lift can help with energy. It can help with wanting to eat a lot of food. One of my biggest issues for when I'm not eating enough food is that I'm just not hungry. I don't know why, but I don't have much of an appetite sometimes, and it's just weird. I just randomly don't have an appetite. But lifting kind of has made me more hungry. I think because more of my muscles that aren't just running muscles are able to be worked and they're fatigued, so my body's screaming for some food. One other thing I really like about lifting and why I would encourage young athletes out there to start some sort of lift program to supplement their running is the fact that you're focusing on something other than just your running goals. For the last 18 months, all I've been focusing on is trying to run a fast time in the 1500 or the 800 or the 5K. And when I'm lifting, I can kind of work on little small goals here and there, and they're not impressive goals, but it feels really good to be able to do a little bit more than you could previously and just see some immediate gains and just have improvements in other aspects of your life and not just be focusing so much on just running stuff. Because at the end of the day, I think that people just who are, at the elite level of the sport, they get so tied up into the running and the results and stuff that you start to lose focus on the process and lose sight of just what you're doing in life and just having fun. That's sort of my 2 cents on just lifting and my body transformation. I feel like I've gone from a twig to a tree. But in reality, I don't know the numbers weight-wise. I don't really look at my weight often, but I've probably put on a little bit of weight and just a little bit of muscle, and I feel good, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. Also, another heads up, we will be going to Boise State to train in Boise, Idaho for a little camp for 3 weeks coming up, Allie, Ari, and I, so that's gonna be sick. Georgie, would you stop being a jerk? Ow! No. That's all I've got on this, but we've got a fun one coming soon. It's a me, Mario. Georgie.